Hi anime lovers, this is Anirudh. Today I am going to narrate the life events of Zaraki Kenpachi. Please watch, subscribe, like, share and comment. Zaraki Kenpachi is a fictional character and an anti-hero in the anime and manga series Bleach created by Taito Kubo. Zaraki Kenpachi is the current captain of 11th Division in the Gotei 13. He is the 11th Kenpachi to hold the position. His first vice captain was Yachiru Kusajishi and his current vice captain is Ikkaku Madarame. Not having a name to go by for as he could remember, he eventually chose to take his surname from the district he once resided in, Zaraki, which was District 80 of the North LA Rukangai. District 80 was the worst, most lawless region of Rukangai, full of thieves and murderers. As a young boy living in the streets of the Rukangai, Zaraki, coming upon the dead body of a soul reaper, took his Asuichi, later imprinting his soul upon it to make his own Zanpakuto. During that time, Zaraki eventually became proficient in swordsmanship and killed numerous opponents. Sometime during this, Zaraki, coming upon Yachiru Unohana, fought with her. The fight was the first time Zaraki felt fear and subsequently the first fight Zaraki ever enjoyed. Zaraki subconsciously sealed his power to allow them to fight longer and consequently lost to her. After their fight, Zaraki began to admire Unohana and wanted to fight like her. Sometime later, as a young man, Zaraki coming upon a girl named her Yachiru in remembrance of the only person he ever admired. After Yachiru showed no fear of his sword, Yachiru came from District 79 Kusajishi, where her parents were murdered, seemingly not too long before Kenpachi arrived. On that day, he took on a name Kenpachi, the title bestowed upon the strongest soul reaper in every generation, the one who has killed the most enemies and won the most battles. Later, Zaraki had an encounter with Ikkaku Madarame and Yumichika before they entered Seiretai. Yachiru warned Ikkaku messing with Kenpachi while he was in a good mood was a bad idea. Though Ikkaku didn't take the warning seriously, when Kenpachi and Ikkaku meet face to face, the latter immediately became alarmed by the former's Ryatsu, but was happy to finally have a real challenge. Kenpachi attacked with enough force to create a crater in the ground under Ikkaku, which somewhat alarmed Yumichika. Due to Kenpachi's strength, Ikkaku was forced on the defensive, holding off Kenpachi's relentless strikes. As the two continued to fight, Ikkaku tried to overwhelm Kenpachi, though he failed in doing so, only succeeding in increasing his own wounds while his opponent remaining untouched by his blade. While Kenpachi mentioned he was having fun, he decided to finish Ikkaku with one quick strike, resulting in his loss of the fight. Ikkaku became mad. Kenpachi would just walk away without finishing him off. Kenpachi plainly telling him he had no interest in weaklings who couldn't fight. Noted he didn't have any obligation to finish Ikkaku off. Ikkaku, thinking he was toying with him, demanded Kenpachi kill him. Kenpachi, losing his patience, grabbed hold of Ikkaku and asked why he was screaming for death if he loved to fight so much. Kenpachi explained to him a philosophy to follow for people like them. Don't admit defeat and seek death. Die first, then admit defeat. When you lose but don't die, it just means you were lucky. At those times, think only about survival. Survive and think only about killing the guy who failed to kill you. Kenpachi, smiling at him, stated it was not like he went easy on him. He was just lucky. To escape death, he said Ikkaku should live, come back and try to kill him again. As Kenpachi went to live, Ikkaku asking him his name, he told he is Kenpachi from Zaraki. Sometime later, Kenpachi killed Kenpachi Kiganjo. the captain of the 11th division in a single blow in front of over 200 members of the division. As per the third qualification trial, Kenpachi became the new captain of the division. The following day, during Kenpachi's first addressing of his division, he was greeted by Ikkaku and Yumichika, who had already become Soul Reaper and joined the division. Ikkaku told Kenpachi he had come back just as he suggested, causing Kenpachi to smile. In Soul Society arc, Kenpachi begins to hunt the strongest Ryoka. He came across the 4th division's compound, finds and stops Mayuri from interrogating his third-seated officer Ikkaku Madarame. Once Mayuri leaves, Ikkaku tells Kenpachi the Ryoka he fought is getting strong and is fully aware of the captain. Ikkaku tells an excited and curious Kenpachi that the Ryoka's name is Ichigo and what he looks like. Finally realizes it is Ichigo. Introducing himself, he tells Ichigo he has come to kill him. Kenpachi confronts Ichigo. Kenpachi is determined to fight Ichigo no matter what the issue may be. Kenpachi, seeing Ichigo's battle stance, compliments on him, though noting it has openings, and admits he likes his spiritual pressure. Kenpachi, acknowledging he understands why Ikkaku lost to him, notes Ichigo is still weaker than him, so he decides to give Ichigo a fighting chance. Kenpachi, leaving his chest, tells Ichigo to cut him anywhere and not hold back. When Ichigo refuses to attack an unarmed opponent, Kenpachi appreciates the thought Ichigo should save his sympathy for someone else. Kenpachi tells him to either kill or be killed. Ichigo attacking Kenpachi's exposed chest causes no injury. Much to his confusion, Kenpachi, disappointed, begins to unsheath his Zanpakuto and telling Ichigo it is his turn him to not die too quickly. When Ichigo's hand starts to bleed, Kenpachi asking him why he is surprised. His sword can't cut him, pushes Ichigo back, using his arm against the blade. Kenpachi explaining why Ichigo's sword can't scratch him, takes out his own sword and tells Ichigo he should try at the very least to place a dent upon his sword. Ichigo, trying to run away from Kenpachi, can't seem to shake him and ends up running into him at every turn. Eventually, Kenpachi, growing bored of chasing after him, sits down. When Ichigo confronts him, he finally, seeming happy, asks if Ichigo is preparing to die or if he is surrendering. Ichigo refuses to do either and attacking finally succeeds in injury. Kenpachi, extremely excited Ichigo can actually injure him, telling Ichigo to keep his spiritual pressure up and not relax. Attacks Ichigo. The two clash and the battle continues with Kenpachi while having the upper hand. Happy to see Ichigo improving when Kenpachi comments on how Ichigo is using the sounds of his bells to determine his position. Ichigo asks if he is underestimating him as he hasn't released his Zanpakuto. Kenpachi explains his Zanpakuto as no name and having never had a seal on it, is currently in its true form. As Ichigo, relieved to hear this, attacks once more. Kenpachi, stopping him, further explains his Zanpakuto's state. He, trusting his Zanpakuto true, Ichigo's breaking right through it, stabs Ichigo in the chest. Kenpachi tells Ichigo he warned him not to relax his spiritual pressure and it has become weak because he saw a chance to win. Kenpachi, frustrated the battle was so easy and is now over, retracts his sword. Eventually, much to Kenpachi's surprise, Ichigo gets up, accompanied by a large burst of spiritual pressure. Ichigo, attacking Kenpachi, surprising him further, deals him a serious injury to the left side from his shoulder down the side of his torso. Kenpachi, deflecting Ichigo's next attack, stabs his sword into a nearby building. Kenpachi, beginning to laugh, becoming extremely excited, says now the fight is just getting started. Noting they should drag out the fight, he, lunging at Ichigo, lets his face get cut by the blade just to get close to Ichigo. As the battle escalates even more, Kenpachi, despite his injuries, continues to fight, teaching Ichigo the drive behind his personality. Kenpachi, realizing both he and Ichigo are evenly matched, enjoying the feeling of the moment, takes off his eye patch, noting he considers Ichigo a worthy opponent. So it only makes sense to fight him at full power. Kenpachi's spiritual pressure skyrockets as he removes his eye patch, prompting Ichigo to wonder what is going on. Kenpachi, explaining to him what the eye patch does, takes out his Sanpakuto and cutting a nearby building in half with a single slash, tells Ichigo he will use all his power to kill him. When Ichigo, increasing his power, greatly impresses Kenpachi. Ichigo, explaining he can do so by borrowing Zangetsu's power and fighting side by side with him, states he will never lose to someone like him who only fights by himself. Kenpachi asks if Zangetsu is Ichigo's Sanpakuto, fighting side by side with it and borrowing its power as he finds it ridiculous. They both, releasing their spiritual pressure, run at each other to make a final strike, releasing enough spiritual pressure to collapse all the buildings around them. The battle ends in a draw, with Ichigo falling first, apologizing to his friends. As Kenpachi looks down on him, with blood shooting out his shoulder, Kenpachi questions Ichigo's apology, calling him stupid, as he gives him the victory of the fight before falling down shortly after, as Yachiru calls for Retsu Unohana to heal Kenpachi. After Kenpachi's recovery, he continues to search for Ichigo. Kenpachi realizes they are being followed by Captain Kaname Tosen and Sergeant Kumamura. Kenpachi, battling Kumamura and Captain Tosen, easily fends them off, leading Tosen to reveal his Bankai, although Kumamura is reluctant to do so. When Tosen releases his Bankai, Kenpachi learns he can't see, hear and sense spirit energy. However, he fights off Tosen with a sense of touch, as he can feel when the blade makes contact with his body. However, Kenpachi, becoming frustrated with this style of fighting, lets Tosen impale him with his sword. Kenpachi, grabbing hold of Suzumushi's hilt, figures out only by grabbing Suzumushi once more, gravely wounds Tosen, which dispels Bankai. As Tosen tries to retaliate, Komamura blocks a slash from Kenpachi, which shatters his helmet. Kenpachi, revealing he never cared what Komamura looked like, proceeds to fight against him once he releases Bankai. However, the battle doesn't last long. Komamura, sensing Genryusai Yamamoto fighting, abandons his fight with Kenpachi. In Yukamundo, Kenpachi arrives and comes to Ichigo's aid as he blocks an attack by the Arrancar Tessera Lindy Cruz. As the Arrancar tries to attack again, Kenpachi deals a fatal slash wound down his chest. Finished with Tessera, Kenpachi looks to Nonaitra Gilga to be his next opponent. Nonaitra, finally deciding to attack, is blocked, though still impressing Kenpachi with his strike. When Nonaitra asks Zaraki Kenpachi his name, both men give their name and rank. As the two opponents continue to fight, Kenpachi, getting close to dealing a fatal blow to Nonaitra, can't cut through the Espada skin with his sword. Nonaitra Gilga, cutting Kenpachi on his left shoulder, laughs, telling him his hero is unsurprised by any current and former Espada. He tells Kenpachi his blade will never cut him. Kenpachi, undeterred, continues to fight Nonaitra with even more aggressive, much to the Espada's surprise. After Nonaitra dodges an attack, Kenpachi deduces it must have been dangerous for him to dodge it. Dismissing it as a reflex, Nonaitra continues the battle until Kenpachi, saying he has never met an opponent whose eyes and neck can't be cut, stabs Nonaitra in the eye hidden by his eye patch. However, Nonaitra, unaffected, reveals the remains of his hollow mask and hole hidden under his eye patch. The Espada, moving closer, stabs Kenpachi in the chest. After the two argue over Nonaitra's inability to be cut, Kenpachi keeps trying to slice up his opponent. Eventually, Kenpachi cuts Nonaitra and, fighting fiercer than before, cuts him again, this time cutting off a part of Nonaitra's hero. The battle carries on until Kenpachi's eye patch is knocked off. After Kenpachi explains the nature of his eye patch, Nonaitra in a rage releases. When Nonaitra asks how it feels to see an Espada release a Sampakto for the first time, all he gets in response to his question is a smile from Kenpachi, who tells him he has nice spiritual pressure and it is like the spiritual pressure itself sharpening his blade. Kenpachi, wasting no time, goes on the offensive, but he, surprised when his attacks are blocked, is dealt a grievous wound across his chest. Nonaitra sends Kenpachi flying away from him as he mocks him, noticing there is no movement from an unresponsive Kenpachi. Nonaitra sets his on Yachiru, but Kenpachi, recovering, cuts off one of his arms. When Nonaitra comments on Kenpachi plain dead, Kenpachi says since Nonaitra will just block his attacks with his many arms, he just has to cut them off. However, Nonaitra mocking Kenpachi regenerates his arm. Kenpachi, grabbing Nonaitra, slams him into the ground, prompting Nonaitra reveal his two hidden arms to stab Kenpachi in the chest. Nonaitra, generating two more scythe weapons, tells Kenpachi it is over. However, Kenpachi, laughing hysterically, keeps fighting, only to be injured several times. He reluctantly decides to use Kendo, though he admits it has been quite some time since he has not used it. When Nonaitra becomes confused, Kenpachi reveals the Captain Commander made him to learn it, but he never liked it. When he asks Nonaitra if he knows a sword is far more powerful when you use two hands instead of one, Nonaitra, becoming bored with the conversation, charges at Kenpachi, who, gripping his sword with both hands, swings it down. Kenpachi lands a very powerful blow, dealing Nonaitra a lethal wound to his chest, severing a few of his limbs and almost cutting him in half. Surprised, the Espada is still alive. He turns to walk away when Nonaitra yells at him, asking where he is going, as the fight is not over. Kenpachi explains he doesn't know what he is talking about, as the blow finished him, and is not know what he is talking about, as the blow finished him, and is not about to be bothered with finishing someone off who can't fight back. Undeterred, Nonaitra, getting up, tells him the fight is not over, taunting him to come back and continue fighting as Nonaitra moves to attack him. Kenpachi lands another blow to his chest and Nonaitra falls to the ground. Kenpachi, standing over Nonaitra's corpse, victorious, thanks him for the good fight. After returning from Yukamundo, Kenpachi is greeted by the 11th Division. He is horribly injured. When asked by his men how the battle was, Kenpachi states it was boring. Although Zaraki Kenpachi is known to be a violent fighter, I like his philosophy. Kenpachi loves for battle and enjoys a good fight more than anything, which is quite evident in the Bleach anime series. Zaraki Kenpachi is the greatest captain of Kotai 13 of all time. I hope you liked my video.